But most of the time, you define either an object, data object in Compose, you have to annotate it with serializable, or if you want to transfer properties, then it's a data class, also serializable. And then you can, when you're defining your composable, like the destination itself, in angle brackets, you have to define, like you have to supply that type. Now, if the type has primitives only inside, you're good to go. But if you have complex types, then you have to write your own custom serializer and deserializer. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, if you command click on deck screen, it is an extension function on NavGraph Builder, cool, and you have serializable data object. Basically, this is how it should be. And what is the home screen? Can you open home screen?
So in this one, I made this not a data object, but a data class. And my model itself is also serializable.
This is the place where you have to create your own serializer and deserializer. So if you actually try to run, I want to see the error. What error does it throw at you? So it says route, blah, 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 could not find any nav type, basically a type that you have to define your own, like as a custom nav type. Of this specific, you see, this deck model is the problem. So there is no type map for it. And we have to create our own.
Just why do I need it? My types are just integer and string. Like I don't have anything complex.
Because you are wrapping this into yet another one, and you are using that one as a destination. So it doesn't know how to unpack like type of type. If you use deck model as a destination, then it's gonna work. The problem with home destination is that it has a type which is not primitive. So this deck model, even though the deck model inside has primitives, that type itself is not a primitive. It's a custom type of your own. And that's why you have to write your custom serializer and deserializer, or nav type if you want. At the top, above this serializable, create a value that's going to be equal an object that will derive from nav type. There you use this deck model. If you check the error, what it says you have to supply is nullable allowed in there. Yeah, so you see object blinks red, meaning you have to override some functions. So let's go ahead and like alt enter on it so you can override the functions. So what you have to do is like you have to put some value, like some implementation in this. So the get will return back deck model out of a bundle. So how you can do that, you can say bundle.get parcellable. Cool, that's one. Then parse value. You want to parse because you're using Kotlin X serialization. You have marked that class with serializable. You can do return JSON dot decode from string, and there you put the same type that you are parsing into. And then inside you supply the value. So out of that value that comes into this function, it will generate deck model. Make sense? And now for put, you have to do the other way around, but this is like to put into the bundle. But now look, these are three functions that you have overridden, which are mandatory. But there is one more. You tell how you're gonna put into bundle and how you are gonna read from bundle, but you have to do the same for the JSON. You only have how to read from JSON. You also have to say how to store to JSON. So override one more function here, and that is serialize as value. And here you are gonna return JSON dot encode to string. The only thing is that if you go to this deck model, you also have to make it parcellable. If you go now back to your navigation, so this should basically work. The only thing is you have to, where you're defining the composable, you have to supply type map argument. Here you put the value that we have created above. What was the name? Home nav arg type, yeah. And that should make it work.